Hey, Shalom. We're still still at camp, you know, just adjusting to the weather, you know.
Small setback.
In season, out of season.
Come.
In season, out of season. So that's just where we're just fulfilling prophecy once again. Micah 5 and 7. Let me read this real quick. This is Romans 12 and 1. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as the Most High hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we being many are one body in Yahawashi, and everyone members one of another. Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministry, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity, he that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. All right? You know? It's just a part of our daily walk in this truth, you know?
You want that Micah 5 and 7?
Kinda, I'm gonna pick back up on the second Ezra's.
This is Micah chapter 5 verse 7. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from the Lord, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men.
Keep going.
Okay, come. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both teareth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver.
So what? There's gonna be a time where Jake is gonna get riled up, you know, and he's gonna be getting at these heathens, you know. Jake is gonna actually band together, and they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. You know, even though Esau has all this power and stuff like that, but hey, they are still the chosen people. You know, we're still the best at everything. So during this race war, we're not just gonna be getting slaughtered. We're gonna be putting up a fight. You know, but us in this truth, we're not gonna be a part of that. You know, because we have a different lot. Our lot was to get these mysteries. You know. And prepare us for salvation. The Jake fighting in the race wars, those are 2/3. You know, it's not gonna be elect men. You know. That should be it.
Let me get this last one.
Okay.
Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off.
God.
So Jake ultimately gonna win. Ultimately. Thanks a lot. You know, I was thinking about with this rain coming down, everybody trying to see cover, but you know, spiritually, you know, with the ark and Noah, you know, he was telling them it was gonna rain, but they ain't believe him. They ain't believe him. But until he entered into that ark and they drowned.
There was old videos where the apostles they would be out there in the rain, you know, have their little umbrella and stuff like that, and be out there in the snow and such like that, because they really were, because they were putting people under Yahawashi, Yahawashi, you know, and that's a better cover than any building or anything like that, you know. Hey, you gotta really strive for this truth unto death, you know, because well, you could easily come out here and get sick and brothers with weaker bodies, they could be on the verge of dying if they get, you know, the Most High can give you anything like that, you know. But hey, we trust in Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi that He's not gonna forsake us, you know, that He, hey, that's what's it, Sirach 2, might be like 14 or 15. We stopped at 19 on this one, right?
It's 20. Okay. You said you wanted Sirach 2 and
10. Sirach 2 and 10.
This is Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction.
That should be it.
Trust in the Most High. Right? Trust in Yahawashi.
This is Psalms 98, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song." Hey, even going further into like this whole rain and the rain is virtually gone. You know, but going into this whole rain and such, and this whole place is defiled, you know. So even when it's dropping, the rain is dropping, it's pushing all this pollution down, you know. So you know, this place gotta go, because you know it says the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, you know. Let's give it a second. We can move back.
Well, it's supposed to keep rain. It's supposed to keep raining for hours,
okay.
So you try to stay here.
Psalms 98 and 1, it says, "Oh, sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy armies have gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly shown in the sight of the heathens." Right? So even these heathens hear of the salvation, you know, even though it's not for them. You know?
Even though they fight tooth and nail.
Yeah, to try to add themselves in there.
Okay.
Right? "He hath remembered his mercy and his truth towards the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our power." Hey, and that's what's gonna happen. The whole earth is gonna see our salvation. You know? Everybody's gonna see it, you know? Let's get back to topic.
You want me to start back in second Ezra?
Okay.
Okay, this is second Ezra chapter 15, verse 21. "Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Lord thy power. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction." For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for God shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons...
That's showing that hope isn't for everybody, you know? Because he already condemned them, you know? Even of the nation of Israel. It said that they're going to be left therein and not going to be delivered, you know? I got a precept.
Okay.
This is Isaiah 59 and start at 15. It says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him, that there was no judgment. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak." Right? Talking about Yahawashi. "According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from a transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord." So that the only way is if you turn from transgression. The only way for salvation is you turn from transgression. You know? You can't be doing the same things and expect that you're gonna be saved. You know? Right? If the Most High reveals His truth to you, and then you still disobey His word, you're definitely not making it. Right? He's gonna actually judge you first. You know?
And the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So how's the sinner gonna be saved?
God.
Actually, that should get there.
This is Psalms 73 and 27. It says, or 26, it says, "My flesh and my heart faileth, but the Most High is the strength of my heart, and my portion forever. For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a-whoring from thee." Right? "But it is good for me to draw near to the Most High. I have put my trust in the Lord Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, that I may declare all thy works."
While you looking
Got
for
it.
that? Yeah. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of the Most High commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator." Right? So, people that out here ain't even trying, you ain't got no hope.
Let me read this real quick. It's kind of deep though. I'm gonna start at Job 15 and 8.
Well, let me read it and you break it down. What are yours?
Job 15.
Where you want me to start at?
8.
This is Job chapter 15, verse 8. "Hast thou heard the secret of the Most High, and dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What knowest thou that we know not? What understandest thou which is not in us? Which us are both the gray-headed and very aged men, much elder than thy father. Are the consolations of the Most High small with thee? Is there any secret thing with thee? Why doth thine heart carry thee away, and what do thy eyes wink at? That thou turnest thy spirit against the Most High, and lettest such words go out of thy mouth. What is man that he should be clean, and he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous? Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints, yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more?
Because that's the same that goes hand in hand with chargeth his angels with folly, right?
How much more abominable and filthy is man which drinketh iniquity like water? I will show thee, hear me, and that which I have seen I will declare, which wise men have told from their fathers and have not hid it, unto whom alone the earth was given, and no stranger passed among them.
That's that wisdom of the prophets, you know, of the holy men, you know. That's what we're supposed to be declaring, right? And we can't, like you said, we're not supposed to be holding this back, you know. We're still at all times we're supposed to be pushing this word, you know. That's our job.
This is Job chapter 15 verse 20. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him.
Exactly. And then that destroyer is Yahawashi.
He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, and he is waited for of the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying...
And that's what they're doing. They're basically, the only reason why they're alive is to wait for the sword to come. You know?
He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of darkness is ready at his hand. It's a lie. And this actually goes into, it says, wandereth abroad for bread. That's why the scriptures say, let his children seek bread from desolate places. Right? You know what I'm saying? So, Esau. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid, and they shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against the Most High, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty.
See, like, that whole Space Force, you know, that's strengthening their hands against the Most High.
He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers, because he covereth his face with his fatness, and make collops of fat on his flanks.
Con, let's go back. Let's go back to 26.
He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers.
See, hey, the Most High is going to trample them. You know? That's what they're saying. The Most High is going to stomp them into the ground. You know?
It's going to be a fight, but you might as well not even call it a fight.
Exactly. It's going to be an execution.
Because he covereth his face with his fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks, and he dwelleth in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth, which are ready to become heaps.
That's this place. That's America. Right? That's even over there in Europe. You know? It's where this beast is. This place is getting prepped for destruction. You know? That's why these potholes are getting bigger. You know? That's why this infrastructure is crumbling. You know?
Bridges collapsing.
Right? Planes are falling out the sky. You know? There was a helicopter that crashed over there in Hawaii, right?
No, I think it was Texas.
Oh no, there was something over in Texas too.
Oh, okay. What?
I remember one in Hawaii, and it was like a actual plane in Louisiana.
Because it was the sportscaster, the news reporter or whatever for the sports. She got killed.
Hey, judgment.
Good.
Hey, let's get that scripture. Is it Zechariah?
Which one are you trying to do?
Let me see. I get it real quick. Oh, Zephaniah, Slakia. Zephaniah 3 verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. So what? He's actually controlling things that's going on in the world right now. It says, he will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Right? Can you get Job 37 and 23 real quick?
37:23.
Come on.
This is Job chapter 20. This is Job chapter 37, verse 23. Touching the Almighty, we cannot find him out. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice he will not afflict. Men do therefore fear him. He respecteth not any that are wise of heart.
All right, because he's not looking for those the scholars of the world, you know. Just because they're looked at as high people in this society doesn't mean that the Most High cares about them, you know. Like when this whole thing with Nipsey Hussle went down, right, and Jake was still bugging the hell out, you know. Hey, he to the Most High, he just a regular man, you know. He could have been an Israelite, but he could have not been an Israelite, you know.
In fact, he probably wasn't, just because you see how people just worship the heathen. So probably he wasn't an Israelite.
Hey, so that's even worse. Bugs all over the place. Hey, that's even worse.
Hey, I got a precept, bro. This is Luke chapter 18, verse 24. And when Yahawashi saw that he was very sorrowful, he said, how hardly shall they have riches enter into the kingdom of the Most High? For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Because hey, we even got to deny ourselves. You know that scripture, hated his mother. Let me get this real quick. This is Luke 12 and 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? You know, these things are already playing out on the earth. You know, it's happening before Yahawashi even comes. It says, but I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I strained till it be accomplished? Right? Because he had to give himself up, you know, for the nation of Israel, for that adoption. Right? For from henceforth there shall be five in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Because what? Because of this doctrine, you know. When we found out we was Israelites and we told our people, there were some that were okay with it and some that hated it, you know, and hated us because we were in it, you know. Hey, but that's it's fulfilling prophecy. That's how Yahawashi warned us, you know. It says, and he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see a south wind blow, ye say there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? Because what? Even the brothers, they go into earthquakes happening all the time. You know, these weird weather events. You know, judgment going through the earth. You know, sedition among men. You know, what's it called? Us being in the news. You know, you know, that's of the times. You know, that's us discerning the times.
It's beginning of sorrow.
So hey, you know, this is the times we're in, and if you can't see it, I mean, you're out of here. You know, this is the warning. We're warning our people. You know, we're warning them. Hey, We're warning our people.
I got
Right.
that Luke for you. You want that?
Con.
This is Luke chapter 14, verse 25. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, this is Yahawashi speaking, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. We got to be doing this work. Well, we got to put this work before ourselves. You know, you look up a precept.
Sure.
It's desire this word. It should pop up now.
Is it not sincere milk, bro? It's not that.
No, it's which that one's a good one. We can get that one, but it's the one more.
This one.
No, do necessary meal. Oh, right here, first one.
Okay. This is Job chapter 23, verse 12. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. Let me keep going.
We go up.
Oh yeah, I probably should have started.
Go to it, Job 23.
I probably started. You know what? I think we should read. Probably just go through that whole chapter to get the point of what he's saying.
Con, it's short.
Come. This is Job chapter 23, verse 1. Then Job answered and said, even today is my complaint bitter. My stroke is heavier than my groaning. Oh, that I knew where I might find him, that I might come even to his seat. I would order my cause before him and fill my mouth with arguments. I would know the words which he would answer me and understand what he would say unto me. Will he plead against me with his great power? No, but he would put strength in me. There the righteous might dispute with him, so should I be delivered forever from my judge. Behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. My foot hath held his
That's
step.
happening to all the brothers in the truth, you know? Right, all of the elect, you know?
My foot hath held his steps. His way have I kept and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food.
More than my necessary food. You know, that's the point right there. You know? More than what I need to survive on a physical level.
Would you rather be hungry or be empty of this word and not have this word in you?
Because there's gonna be a time where you could you know, with that RFID chip, the mark of the beast, and they cut you off from, you can't go to any store and get any food, you know, and that temptation will be there, but you just gotta fight it, you know.
Because if you didn't have his word in you, you would take that chip and you'd be destroyed.
Con. And that little bit of pleasure of eating is not worth losing the first fruits of the kingdom, being the first fruits of the kingdom. You know, it's not worth it. You know, and then that's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. You was in this truth for how long, and you still took the chip? No, we're in this thing to the end. You know, we're gonna have to get this scripture then.
I'm glad we didn't move again.
Yeah.
See?
Trying to pick back up. right here. This is Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right? That's all we need, you know? That's all you need to know. He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Right? So you have to be in this thing for the long run, you know?
Hey, I got
Precept.
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein, and I will bring the third part through the fire.
Hey, it says that, start from the top again, Salakia.
And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahawah is my power.
Hey, so the Most High is going to keep us in the living, you know? The rest of 2/3, every 2/3 is going to be killed, you know? You got to, there's not going to be a surviving 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you know? And that's a lot. You know, that's a lot of Israelites that's going to have to die, you know? But it just makes the 1/3 way more precious, you know?
No Uncle Toms, no Uncle Juans, and no Uncle Tomahawks.
Exactly.
Are coming into the kingdom.
Exactly.
With a parrot on their shoulder.
It would just defile the kingdom, you know?
Where did you want? Job still? What was it? Chapter 15? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we are. Okay.
There's a little bit more left. This is Job chapter 15, verse 29. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness, the flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away.
Hey, it says, where is it? It says the flame shall dry up his branches. That's talking about his lineage, you know? That's talking about his household, his sons, right? Going back to, what is it, Isaiah 14. I'll get it real quick. Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against him, saith the Lord of hosts, right? The Heavenly Father, Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, and cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord. Right? Let's keep going.
Okay. Job 15 and 30. He shall not depart out of darkness, the flame shall dry up his
so he's never coming in the truth. He's never going to understand. You know?
The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green.
Con.
Right? It's going to be dead.
Con. Burn up.
Con. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief. Hey, five Jews stabbed. Right? They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. The scriptures have a way of telling you Esau's the devil in so many different places. Right?
Because this whole thing goes back to Jacob and Esau, you know? Hey, because it really goes back to Cain and Abel, You know? And it really goes back to Adam and the serpent. You know?
God. You've been wicked for a long time, you son.
Con. You know?
Since the beginning of time.
Oh,
Damn, Job 15. I'm gonna have to highlight this one, man.
God.
This is a good chapter.
We'll go back. This is Psalms 35, and we start at I'm gonna start at 14. It says, I behaved myself as though he had, or so lucky. I'm gonna go to 15. It says, but in mine adversity they rejoice. Salakia. And we just start at Psalms 35 at the top. We go through that one too. Sound like another camp or something.
It's
a bug out.
Yeah. Yeah, people are bugged out, man. Submitting with madness. This is Psalms 35, verse 1. Plead my cause, O Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. And say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek.
And we confound these people right now. You know, we confound them because they don't know the truth of the scriptures. You know, so hey, we take away their hope and their dreams. You know, that's exactly our job. All right. Just keep going.
Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that divides my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of Yahawah by Hashem Yahawashi chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid from me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord, it shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which delivereth the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him. False witnesses did rise up, they laid charge to my things that I knew not.
Hey, that's what they're doing right now with all these Jewish attacks. You know, because they really want to blame it on the Israelites. You know, they want to put it on us as we did something, but we don't condone that. All right?
I'm sorry, 11 again. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me.
We don't condone that, but we don't care about them. You know?
Absolutely. Let that come out.
Hey, we don't care about them. We're not looking with peace for them. They're our enemies, but we're waiting upon the Lord to take vengeance for us. Right? These fake Jews, they're not our people, you know, but we're not gonna attack them. We're gonna let the Most High deal with them, to the Most High judge them, you know, for the Most High to take them out of power, you know.
They rewarded me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into mine own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. Hey, I behaved myself as he had been my friend or brother, right? Esau. I bowed down heavily as one that mourneth for his mother. But in mine adversity they rejoice. and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me.
Hey, Psalms 83. You know? Psalms 83. Look, hey, the whole world went against us, basically against the southern kingdom to put us into slavery. You know?
When the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem, the Edomites helped them.
Hey, look, even we got to get into Obadiah.
No, that's an oldie but goodie. You want me to keep going on this? This is Psalm 35, verse 15. But in my adversity, they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not. With hypocritical mockers and thieves, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destructions, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land.
Because we're not doing anything to anybody. You know? We're just trusting in the Lord, but we're target number one to these Edomites and such like that. You know, to these heathens, to these 2/3. You know, that's because we have the power of the Most High working with us. You know, and directing us. You know, and they're jealous. They want this, but they can't get it because it's not for them. You know, because if the roles were reversed, we would be hating them because we know we don't have anything else to, we don't have any hope, we don't have any salvation coming, you know? Hey, so you got to be thankful to be on this side. Hey, call halal Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi. You know?
Good.
That's why you got to fight to stay in this word, you know, to stay in the truth.
Psalm 35 verse 21. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha,
Aha,
aha, our eye have seen it.
Yeah, because even with that first Jewish attack when he ran into the store, you know, the first thing, these black Hebrew Israelites, you know.
Right.
You know that they're set up for they're saying we're set up for wickedness, but this is for good, you know.
This thou hast seen, O Lord, keep not silence, O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my power and my Lord. Judge me, O Yahawashi, my power, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, so would we have it. Let them not say, we have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt.
Because what they want to see us confounded. They want us to in the future, you know, that they say, these prophecies didn't come to pass, or you know, or something else was set up that we didn't say. But hey, we got the scriptures. We're going according to the scriptures, and we have faith that we're seeing the prophecies come to pass. You know,
and moving rapidly.
So hey, it's already happening, and Esau. Hey, everything that happened in the past was prophecy, and what's happening is prophecy. You know, you can't escape prophecy. You can't change the prophecies. You know, you can't upset the prophecies. You know.
Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor.
And that's some strength right there. You know, to believe in something that is already happening. You know. And it will happen. You know, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, to know what's going to happen, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, that's why these false gods, they don't have any prophecies. You know, Allah, He doesn't have any prophecies. You know,
the Book of the Dead doesn't have any prophecies. It's just for the dead, right?
And that's why these Christians, they can't get into the prophecies of this book, right? They can't understand. They can't break this down. You know, they can't see it. You know, they got enough just to stay afloat, right? But they're really crumbling. You know, they're really drowning.
Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me.
That's why these churches they watch the Hebrew Israelites to get more understanding, you know, so they can bring it out in their congregation.
Hey, and
right?
they went to seminary school, right?
Exactly. Hey, $40,000 ain't teach you anything. You know.
They weren't letting learn one scripture, John 3:16.
You still don't know about.
You still don't know.
Yeah, you still don't know. Hey, vocab's still confused on reincarnation. I heard. Hey, he went to seminary school. It sounded like he was the leader of seminary school. So, what's that? It's like a T. Theological.
Theologian, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteous cause. Yea, let them say continually, let Yahawah Yahawashi be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servants.
Yeah, we want to be a part of that number of the servants, you know? That's why we're doing the work, you know? We believe we was hired for this. And we're gonna, we're stacking up our treasures now, you know? And we're gonna cash out. Right, and what we're gonna cash out is better than what we put in, you know.
And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and of thy praise all the day long. That which is what we're doing now. Speaking of the righteousness of Yahawah Yahawashi.
Let's go.
Hey man, these devils are through, man.
These devils are through.
There's nothing they can do, man. Imagine fighting a battle. Well, maybe you think you can win it, but you know you can't win. Like, it's not possible for you to win. But you're still gonna fight. Hey, it's a good effort.
Let's see. Let's start at.
Where you at, Jeremiah?
Jeremiah 1. Let's just get Jeremiah 1 and 5. And then go down to go down to 10.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Lord, Lord thy power, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, Say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth.
That scripture that these Christians always bring out, that's for us to no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. That's for the men of the Most High, you know. That's for the men of the Most High. That's not for everybody, because who's the destruction for? If it's for everybody, you know.
Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Hey, we're the top. We're the top of everybody. We're over everybody. We're the prophets of the Lord. You know, there is an order of the prophets, like the elders. You know, the apostles, the elders. You know, and then everybody trickling down, but we're still above everybody concerning knowledge. We're over the Rawchas, you know. We're over all these people in the world, you know, because we have that top knowledge, you know. And that and what we're out here being an example to the nation, you know. That's why we move different, we react different, you know. We interact different, you know. And we got a hedge around us when we're doing this work, you know. We got protection that you can't see, but you know is there, you know. Hey, Elisha, you know, showed that. Elisha was a prophet, you know. Let me get this script. That was 10?
Yeah, that was 10.
This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. It says, the prophets which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord truly sent him. Right? So, hey, the way you know of if we're a true prophet or not is through the prophecies, what we say, you know. The prophecies, all the prophecies that we say have to come to pass, you know. Hey, we come out the Holy Scriptures, you know. We're not just making these things up, you know. We're moved by the Spirit of the Heavenly Father. That's the Holy Spirit, you know, which is separate from the world, right?
Hey, well, you know what? To back you up on that, Jeremiah 14:14. Then the Lord said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not. Yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed.
God.
Right?
God.
Hey, and we were just speaking on this earlier. The false prophets are being revealed, man.
God.
In these latter days, man. People that sold out, right? Took that Judas purse. They're being revealed, man.
God. Hey, those riches are moth eaten.
God.
You know?
God.
Let's get this.
God.
This is 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 4. Do you want to get it?
Yeah, come on. You said 1 Thessalonians 2 and 4?
God.
Okay. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let me start at 2. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanness, nor in guile, but as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time used we flattering words, as we know, nor a cloak of covetousness. The Most High is witness. Nor of men sought we glory, neither of you, nor yet of others. Then we might have been burdensome as the apostles of Hamashiach. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherisheth her children. So being affectionately desirous of you, we were willing to have imparted unto you, not the gospel of the Most High only, but also our own souls, because ye were dear unto us. For ye remember, brethren, our labor and travail, for laboring night and day, because we would not be chargeable unto any of you. We preached unto you the gospel of thy power.
All right. Because we do have to, our job is to warn. Ezekiel 3, have to get that now, you know. Our job is to be out here to warning our people, you know. and condemning the heathens, the 2/3. You know, that's our job. You know, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We can't miss a beat. You know.
You want to start at the top, right?
Done.
Ezekiel 3, verse 1.
Before that, let me get this. This is Matthew 19:28. It says, "And Yahawashi said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit." Hey, and going into the virgin birth, how is Yahawashi the Son of Man if he if his father, so-called, is the Holy Spirit? You know, it doesn't make sense. It says, "In the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel." It says, "And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands," or basically everything, you know, "for my name's sake, shall receive an 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life." That means if you give $1, he's gonna give you a $100 bill, you know. "But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first." Right.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 1. "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of an hard language, but to the house of Israel."
We're basically sent to ourselves. You know, we're the house of Israel, and we're trying to get the ones that are like-minded as us. You know, the ones that are potential of the elect. You know, we're not sent to people we don't understand. You know, people that have never dealt with us. We're dealing with the people we've always dealt with. You know, because we're a part of them. You know, we're of the house of Israel as they are.
Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee.
You see how these heathens move? You know, they want to be a part of this hard as hell.
Well, that one, what looks like a heathen might walk by a few minutes ago, was like, "Oh, towards our Israel, I know about that."
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what he said. So yeah, come on.
He should have stayed and said what he knew. You know,
he should have. He could have been a Jake. You know,
he could have been. Yeah, he could have been a Jake. Now we don't know. You know,
gotta go by the Spirit. "But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted."
Impudent.
"Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint, have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, Thus saith the Lord thy power, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of Yahawah from his place. If you want me to keep going, well, that's probably it.
Let's see,
unless we want me to skip down about They made a watchman. Or I can just read all
Yeah,
this.
that's it right there. That's the point I want to get.
Okay, you
Where
want
we stop right here?
yeah, we stop right here.
Yeah, we can read through that. That's just setting it up for that one.
This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 13. I heard also the noise of the wings of the living creatures that touch one another, and the voice of the wheels over against them, and the noise of a great rushing. So the Spirit lifted me up. And
Yeah, that's the chariot. You know, that's the angels in the chariots.
So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness, in the heat of my spirit, but the hand of the Lord was strong upon me. Then I came to them of the captivity at Tel Aviv, that dwelt by the river of Chebar, and I sat where they sat, and remained there astonished among them 7 days.
You know, because because basically we got put in the same situation that they were, because they're in the captivity, we're in the captivity. You know, we're going through those same afflictions.
And it came to pass at the end of 7 days that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked of his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
So we got to be out here. Definitely.
If we ain't, and they go off, it's going to be accounted to us. Yet if thou warn
that doesn't mean that we're going to go out and tell everybody at work about this, or, you know, go to McDonald's and hold the door open and tell all Jakes that come in, you know, about Israel. That's not wise. We're out here on the highways and byways. You know, we're doing those lessons, you know, throughout the week, you know, putting it on our channels and such like that. That's us doing the work, you know. The Jakes, hey, trust me, if you're in this truth, you know, Jakes will come up because they know the spirit around you. You know, ask you questions when you might not even want to be bothered, you know. It's just how it is, you know. We just got to be, anytime that the Most High allows us a chance that we're supposed to edify, we're supposed to edify, you know. There was times we'd be at the gym, somebody recognized us, you know, that happened to me or whatever, you know, and then now I'm going into the scriptures, you know.
Y'all, aren't you the crazy Israelite guys on the corner? It happens.
Con, like that one, it looked like an Edomite. He said, hey, he knows about the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, you talking about from earlier?
Con, the one that just walked by us.
Oh,
right
okay.
here.
Con.
Right? Did he say Hebrew Israelites or black?
No, he didn't say black. He was like, I think he was like 12 tribes of Israel. I know about that. He didn't say, and he didn't seem like he was saying it in a derogatory way.
Yeah, like a malicious way.
Con. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 9. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness, and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live.
Hey, that even goes in the iron sharpeneth iron. You know, we want to do this. We want to do this correctly. You know, we want to have our brothers back. You know, if we see our brother going on, we got to correct them so they can get on the right track. You know?
Because nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live. Because he is warned, also thou hast delivered thy soul. Right? So you're delivering yourself by doing that also. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. Wow, I think that you keep maybe 26 too. I want to get there. So probably should just read down.
Come on, let's get it.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 22. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. And the hand of the Lord was there upon me, and he said unto me, Arise, go forth into the plain, and I will there talk with thee. And then I arose and went forth into the plain, and behold, the glory of the Lord stood there, as the glory which I saw by the river of Chebar, and I fell on my face. Then the Spirit entered into me, and set me upon my feet, and spake with me, and said unto me, Go, shut thyself within thine house. But thou, O son of man, behold, they shall put bands upon thee, and shall bind thee with them, and thou shalt not go out among them. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the root of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house.
There's gonna be there's gonna be a famine of the word, and we're not gonna be bringing that stuff out anymore. You know.
You're gonna be able to find the video.
Exactly. And you're not gonna be able to. It's gonna be all incognito. Without this stuff, normally, you know, we just look like regular people. You know. So it's not gonna be like who we are. You know. We're not gonna be able to be accessed. You know. Hey, we might, the next time you see us, we might be flying through your city, you know, flying through your city, for real, you know, or running like, what's that little blue?
Sonic.
Like Sonic, you know? So.
And at that time, we're not going to be telling you the prophecies and preaching to you.
Because that's the end of the end. You know, when we get spiritual power, hey, that's the game over. You know.
But when I speak with thee, I will open thy mouth, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord thy power. He that heareth, let him hear, and he that forbeareth, let him forbear, for they are a rebellious house.
So, hey, the elect are gonna get this. You know, it's only for the elect. You know, the ones that have the ear for this or the eyes for this. They're going to be watching for it. This is Jeremiah 3:14. It says, Turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and will bring you to Zion. It starts with getting this truth. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right? And that's what we are. You have a question? Hey. So.
And then when I left that.
All right, let's go. I want to start at Jeremiah 25 and 4.
Jeremiah 25:4. Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 4. And the Lord hath sent unto you all his servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, but ye have not hearkened, nor inclined your ear to hear. See? Prime example.
Exactly. Prime example.
You know what I'm saying?
You got a question?
No, I'm good, man. Thanks.
They said, Turn ye again now every one from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that the Lord hath given unto you and to your fathers forever and ever. Mm-hmm. And go not after other gods.
We're getting the things that he already promised us, you know? We're getting the things that he already gave us, and we lost them, and we're trying to get them back again, you know?
And go not after other gods to serve them and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the work of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the
Hey,
Lord.
you have not hearkened unto the Lord, so you're going to be destroyed. Hey, and that's simple, right? And that's Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, you know? That's the straight and narrow. And we're ready to see it. We're getting tired of this. We're getting tired of this.
Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, because ye have not heard my words, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, saith the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and will bring them against this land and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and will utterly destroy them.
Hey, because why? Because the Most High got tired of it, you know. So he took Jake out of power, you know, and put Jake right back into captivity, you know. Every time the Most High gets pissed off with Jake, he puts him in captivity. But this is the last captivity, you know. So if you don't get it now, you're gonna have your head down in the kingdom. Right.
And will utterly destroy them and make them an astonishment and an hissing and perpetual desolation. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones and the light of the candle. And this whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And it shall come to pass, when 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, saith the Lord, for their iniquity, and the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it perpetual desolations. And I will bring upon that land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah hath prophesied against the nations.
That really should be it now. Here we get Isaiah 58. We'll go through this chapter. No, yeah, this is good. This is good.
This is Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
We're not hiding this from anybody, you know. Before you keep reading, let me get one more scripture. Tobit. This is Tobit 13:3. It says, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. You know? A lot of weirdos.
Yeah, tons.
Hey, but we're pushing this truth in the midst of all these people. You know? Anybody, you know? If anybody wants to come up, they can get it, you know? They can get with it or they can get it, you know?
Get chopped up like that Edomite lady from a couple weeks ago.
A public example.
Hey, she was grateful. She had it on her chest. She was grateful. Grateful to get chopped up. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness, and forsook not the ordinance of their power. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to thy power. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast, ye shall find pleasure and exact all your labor. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high.
Because we're not doing this for people. You know, that's what they're doing. They're doing it to be seen of men. You know, we're doing it to get closer to Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. You're not gonna get blessings by going in church to a Christian church and yelling and screaming and so-called speaking in tongues. You know, that's out the picture. You know, and that's you're gonna get cut by doing that. You know.
Is it such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to the Lord? It's like, is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh? Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine heart shall spring.
That light is talking about wisdom, you know?
Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi shall be thy reward. Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, Here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger, and speaking vanity, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be a watered garden, like a spring of water, whose waters fail not.
Hey, we're gonna be protected. You know, we're not gonna want anything because we have everything we need.
And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations.
Hey, the old waste places, because this was taken from us. We're building this back up. You know, we're building up our minds back to how we were in the ancient days. You know, that's exactly what we're doing. This book hasn't changed. You know, from the time of the apostles. You know, when Yahawashi was on the scene. You know, this is the same things we were studying. You know, and 2,000 years later, we're getting it all back. You know, or more than 2,000 years. You know.
And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken.
Because, well, we can't be looking for our own fleshly pleasures on the Sabbath, you know? The Sabbath is supposed to be holy. We're supposed to be looking for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, watching videos, reading, and such like that, you know? Catching up on the things, you know, to be dedicated into this truth, you know? That's just, hey, the Most High set it up just for that, you know? So anything that we don't know, that we don't have a full grip on, or we want to get better on, that's the day to get to it, you know? It's at the same time, you still got to say that we're in captivity, you know? So it's not going to be every time you're going to be off for work or something like that, you know? But that's what you want to strive to, you know? To have that flexibility, you know? But we're still in captivity, you know? And the Most High knows that. That's why Judges 5 and 11, that we're going to rehearse the righteous acts. Right? And that's the end of the chapter, right?
Yeah.
This is Proverbs 6, and I'm going to start at 20. It says, "My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck." Right? And this is really talking about the commandments of the ones above us in this truth. You know, like the apostles and the elders. Those are spiritually our mothers and fathers. "When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee." Right? Because in this, when we're dealing in this world, you know, we're seeing certain things, but we still gotta have the mind of, you know, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You know, hey, that's what it is. You know, we get closer to the Most High, and what can you look up in our thoughts? No, it's just put thoughts. Right here.
This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 4. "The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after, read it verbatim, God is not in all his thoughts."
Right, but in the righteous, God is in all our thoughts, just as it's saying here. Proverbs 6 and 22, it says, "When thou goest," or I'm going to go back at 20, it says, "My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, which is thy mind, and forsake not the law, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall..." Hey, can you look up fetters in the Apocrypha? It says, "When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman." Right? Which is really those philosophies, those idolatrous ways, you know.
You want, I'm guessing 21 and 19.
No. Wait.
That's all.
Doctrine on Sin. Oh, right here. 24. I'm gonna start at 22.
This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 22. "For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many."
Real quick, let me get a precept. This is 2nd Esdras 8. 2nd Esdras 8 and 62. It says, "These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee." You know, because this truth is not for everybody. That's all I want from there. And Sirach, 2nd Esdras 12. It says 2nd Esdras 12 and 36. It says, "Thou only hast been meet to know the secret of the highest. Therefore write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them, and teach them to the wise of the people, whose hearts thou knowest may comprehend and keep these secrets." You know, because this is not for everybody. This understanding is not for everybody. Amos 3 and 7. Um, can you look up mysteries? Yes, Con.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Esaias, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. Well, did you want to keep
let's keep going. That's good.
But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches cloak the word, and he becometh unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some an hundredfold, some 60, some 30.
That's really it.
That's
So, right here, this is Malachi 3:16. It says, Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return, right? So, hey, that's even more reincarnation. And discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not. So it's only a select group, you know. Let's get back to the chapter.
You want Sirach 6:22?
Con.
This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 22. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. Give ear, my
That's
son.
what these people in the world, they don't look to be gathering wisdom, you know, to be gathering. Hey, these Romans keep passing by every a couple minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I've been looking.
It's
Been just riding by maybe a couple times.
I wouldn't. They probably ride a whole bunch here because police station.
True, but
either way, hey, these centurions.
Either way, they're here. You know, they notice us.
Right, they know.
You know.
Hey, but the Most High ain't gonna let nothing happen. Unless He updates it. It is what it is.
God.
It's a lot.
What was
No, you were just saying these people.
Oh, the wisdom. They don't desire. They don't know that they need to desire wisdom. You know. And that's what we're doing. That's why even with this this preaching being foolish to the Most High, we know that this is a way to get closer to that wisdom. You know. Because that wisdom is better than gold. You know. It's better. It's better than women. You know. So, alright, yeah, we just keep going for a little bit more. We'll finish this off and that's it.
This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 22. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many.
Exactly. Wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. You know? It's for a select few. You know? A small remnant. Well, we need that scripture. Can you look that up real quick? It's like we would have been as Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, I got it. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant.
A very small remnant.
God, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. And we just saw
completely destroyed.
Right? We just saw Sodom and Gomorrah. Women walking by holding hands.
Those women. Yeah. One of them was trying to be a man, you know.
Hey, I could tell that David's face was like, please don't say nothing to me. I could kind of tell, but it was like, oh well. But they hide it not.
They declare their sin as Sodom.
I mean, we could read more unless you just.
I want more.
Okay, cool.
Because we was talking about we was putting it. Let me find that scripture again. But we was basically putting it around us, putting it on our necks. You know, so it's the same thing with these feathers. It's just saying the same thing, but in the Apocrypha. You can get it. I'll find this one.
Oh, you wanted me to keep reading Isaiah, or you wanted
Sirach.
This is Sirach chapter 6, verse 23. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. And put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chain. Bow down thy shoulder, and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. Search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. For at the last thou shalt find her rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains a robe of glory. For there is a gold ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Thou shalt put her on as a robe of honor, and shalt put her about thee as a crown of joy. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding, and if thou bow thine ear, thou shalt be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders, and cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot wear the steps of his door. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish thine heart, and give thee wisdom at thine own desire. So you just got to seek it out. Right?
This one, I was trying to find that other one I was reading, but this is Job 28, and I'm gonna start at 12. It says, "But where shall wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. The depth saith, it is not in me, and the sea saith, it is not with me. It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx or the sapphire. The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The Tophab and Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Right? It says, whence then cometh wisdom, and where is the place of understanding? Seeing it is hid from the eyes of all living, and kept close from the fowls of the air. Right? So if you got it, you gotta hold on to it. Right? Destruction and death say, we have heard the fame thereof with our ears, right? Because the ones that's going to be destroyed, they're going to know that there was wisdom, that the wisdom really saved us, you know, but they didn't receive it, you know. It says, God understandeth the way thereof, and he knoweth the place thereof. For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven, to make the weight for the winds, and he weigheth the waters by measure. When he made a decree for the rain, and a way for the lightning of the thunder. Right? It says, then did he see it and declare it. He prepared it yet and searched it out. So this is the Most High saying, what is wisdom? And unto man he saith, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. Right? And with that, let me see if I can find this real quick.
What are you looking for?
I don't know how to make small. So I have to buy them.
The one while I was talking about the father and the mother.
What, are you talking about hater? Talking about hater, father, and mother?
No, where keep the sayings of thy father. Pick that one up. Oh no, that's it should be in Psalms.
Talking about John 14.
No, it's
You said the song.
it should be in Psalms. Right here, I found it. It's Salakia. It's Proverbs 6. Proverbs 6 and 20. It says, my son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thy heart, and tie them about thy neck. That's why we went to the feathers, right? Because when it's talking about those feathers, you know that wisdom being feathers upon you, like chains on you, you know. Those it's heavy at first, but then you get used to them, you know, and then you can go harder than the ones that have never trained with it. It says, when thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. We're keeping ourselves from this evil, right? Which is these philosophies, you know, these imaginations, you know. We're in the truth. We're staying away from that, you know. But we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone for teaching us the truth according to the Bible, you know. Hey, and us being out here, you know, going for hours on hours and stuff like that, you know, they do that in the church, but it's of no profit, you know. So that, let that be known, right? And shalom to the sincere Akim out there, you know.